Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am going to be showing you the different ways in which you can set up intervals for your runs, or maybe you are jeffing and need a way to sort of be able to track your intervals and when to run and walk. So I'm going to be showing you that today. I've got 5 different ways in which I have been able to set up intervals. Some have worked well for me, others haven't. Most of the ways in which I'll show you will be on a Garmin watch. If you don't have a Garmin watch, then I do have 2 other methods in which you can track intervals, and I'll show them later on in the video. But mostly the ways to set up intervals I'll be showing you is on a Garmin watch. You'll have to check whether you've got support for things like that. I've got a Garmin Fenix 5S, so that's what I'll be using to show you how I set up intervals on this one. I've got 3 ways in which you can set up intervals on here, and they do provide different sort of ways and different features, hence why I'm showing you 3 ways to do it. And then obviously the 2 alternate methods, so stay tuned and I'll show you how to do them. Okay, so the first way I'm going to show you is the way that you would usually set up your standard intervals. So if we go into your activities, select your run, then press the middle button. I don't know, it might be different for other Garmins, it's just the way that I do on this one. If you select the middle button, then it brings up like your run settings and things. Then you can go to training and down to intervals, and you can sort of set the interval that you're going to use. Just for this I've set it to 5 seconds and 5 seconds, so in order to edit you just scroll down to edit. The interval is obviously how long you want to run for, and then the rest is how long you want to rest for. Then you've got how much you want to repeat it, so I've just done 15 times for an example because I've changed it for now. And then you can set warm up and cool downs as well. So I'll give you an example of how that works and how it shows up on the screen. This is sort of the best way that I've found to do it, just because of how it shows up on the screen. So if you go to do workout, then obviously you get start timer to begin your workout. So you would start your run as you usually would. Then it bleeps to tell you that you're starting. It'll bleep to tell you when it's about to end, and then it'll bleep to tell you that it's going to start again, and that basically just continues until you know you're until you're finished. It gives, I think, 5 bleeps in the 5 seconds leading up to the end of the interval, which I find pretty handy. It's the most bleeps that I get on any of the settings that I've used on the Garmin, so in terms of recognising when you're going into your run and your walk interval, I find this the best option. So that is the first option, so that's the interval setting. Also, just to add here, as I did forget, you can specify the actual type of interval that you want to do. So when you go to your duration and you set it, you've obviously got your minutes here for what you want to do in minutes, and then seconds, press the tick. But you can also set it to open, so that I don't really know what open does, but you can also set it to distance instead, so you can have like 1/4 of a mile, half a mile, whatever, to do your run and your rest. So that's how you do that one. Then you have the option of setting alerts, which is also something I tried out. However, it didn't beep as much and didn't sort of give me a good indication of when my run and my walk was. So if I missed the bleeps, I sometimes stopped thinking that it was my walk break and it wasn't. So yeah, so for the alerts you go to run settings, and then you scroll down to alerts, and there should be a run walk section here. If there's not, then you can add it. So you've got like different alerts that you can set up for whatever it is that you want to do, but run walk was already on my watch, and I've got it set to always on, so when you start a run just as a normal activity, not going into your interval settings or anything like that, you can just have it all the time. That means that you don't have to set like specific repeats. It will just go on as long as you're running. So yeah, I've got mine set on, and for the example I've just set it to 15 seconds run time, and sorry, it keeps going out of focus. Yeah, 15 seconds run time and then 15 seconds walk time. So that will alert automatically when you set your runs. So if I go into run now and just, oh, stupid thing keeps going out of focus all the time. Yeah, if I start my run now, it'll say run and it'll do that little bleep. I've got auto stop on. So if I go back here, so it'll get to 15 seconds and it'll tell you to walk. And then it'll get to 15 seconds again, which is when you should start your run interval, and it'll do it again. The only downside I see to this is although it bleeps, it's not, the intervals on the watch aren't really loud enough for me, especially if I'm listening to music. And they only bleep when you're about to start the interval, so if you don't look at your watch at the right time, if you've missed the bleep, you wouldn't be able to tell whether you're in the run or walk section, because there's no indication on the actual screen. So yeah. So for this one you basically set a workout, so it's another way to set intervals, and you can sort of set up a workout with different intervals in it. For this you need the Garmin Connect app. Like I said, these examples are for Garmin, so I don't know whether Suunto and things like that would have their own. So you go to the menu button up at the top, you click on training and workouts, and in here you can see the different workouts that you've set. Like I've set here, I've got a 90-30 Jeff and a 60-30 Jeff from when I was trying it out. And you can find workouts, so I think Garmin has a select amount of workouts in their sort of database that other people have created, or you can create your own. So you can do it for all these different activities, which I think is pretty cool. So if you wanted to set run intervals, then you go into run, you can set a warm up and a cool down and your runs, and you basically just configure it to what you want. So you can remove the cool downs if that's what you preferred. And just have the run. You can add steps so that you can change it to a recover period, and you can set it to distance or time, whatever it is that you prefer, or you can have calories, heart rate, things like that to make it switch, which I find is pretty cool. You can add a repeat, so the amount of times that you want to repeat the steps that you've done, and then when you're finished you can basically save the workout, give it a name, and then when you click on it you can click this button up here, which basically sends it over to your watch basically, and then it should be available on here. So if I go back in the settings and sync, so that it syncs my watch with whatever's on my Garmin Connect. That's finished syncing. Now if we come to the watch, you can go to run again, click the middle button, go down to training and my workouts, and basically you will have your workout that you set up in the Garmin Connect on your actual watch. So that is the third way in which you can do it. If I just click on this, I can't remember what intervals I used, but on this you do get a sort of breakdown of what interval you're in. So it shows the run the same way that you would if you were setting up the intervals from the first example. So either of these two I've been using, and I sort of prefer these the most. It's not going to give you the bleep, but it does bleep in the same way that the intervals do. So using either of those methods is fine. So we'll stop that activity. So that is the third way, that's the workouts. Now, if you don't have a Garmin watch or anything like that that you can set your intervals on, then I do have a solution in the form of an app. I don't know whether the app that I've got available is available on iOS, but it is available on Android. So it is this app here, the Tabata timer. So in here you can basically prepare your intervals that you want to do for your run or for your Jeff or whatever it is that you want to do. You have the top one which is how long you want to wait before you actually start the work. So this 10 seconds allows me to obviously start the interval timer and then put it away in my pocket or anything like that. Work is your run period, so how long you want to run for. Rest is how long you want to recover for or walk for if you're doing Jeffing or your interval runs. And then cycles is how many times you want it to repeat. So if you're doing a interval session, for example, you might want a specific amount of intervals to do. Otherwise, if you are Jeffing, you might just want to increase that to the maximum amount that it does and have it for the whole duration. It's completely up to you, but they're the main settings that I use, these top ones. The set and rest are more for things like workouts. It does give you unique sounds for you to use as well, and I've tested it. Some other apps don't allow you to have the sounds when your screen is closed, but I've used this and it's been working for me with the screen completely shut off when I put it away in like the my running vest. So that is working, but I'll just give you an example of the sounds that it does. So you've got the 10 seconds to allow you to start it and put it away in your pocket. Then you get the whistle, which is your work period, so you get a unique tone for each one. The ding is obviously when you start your rest period. And then obviously the whistle again to start your run period, which I think is quite nice because it allows you to distinguish between which period you're on, whether it's the run period or the walk period. So yeah, that is the app that I have been using so far. Like I said, I just configured that so that you could hear the tones and things like that. But yeah, that's basically what the app looks like, and it's pretty cool for like home workouts and things like that as well. So that is an app-based alternative for intervals. So this is the last method that I've got for being able to track your intervals. It's made by the same company that uses the Gymboss app, and it's basically just a physical timer. Like I said, I don't own one of these myself, but I know a lot of people that do use them. So they're just on Amazon, they're £18, and it's basically just a clip-on Gymboss like interval timer. And the same way that you would do with your watch or whatever else, you basically set how many repeats you want to do and your run time and your walk time on there. And a lot of people have found this really good. I just personally haven't bought one because the other methods in the video have been fine for me. Also, if you don't have a watch, I think I saw somewhere, yeah, you can get this little like watch strap where you can attach the Gymboss timer to. So if you don't have a watch but you like to do intervals, you can buy something like that. I'll leave links down below to the apps if I can, and the Gymboss timer that I'm using here. But yeah, that is it. That's all the methods that I found for setting intervals, for interval sessions or Jeffing, and they're what I personally use and recommend. So yeah, hopefully you found these helpful. So they are the 5 ways in which you can set up intervals for either just a normal interval session or if you are Jeffing. I hope you found this helpful. Please let me know in the comments below if you found this helpful, if you found a way to set up intervals for you, depending on what you're going to use them for. Do make sure that you give the video a like and subscribe to my channel to see more running and weight loss content. I think there's about 70% of the people that watch my videos that aren't subscribed to the channel, which makes me very, very sad. So I would appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel and show your support that way. I would really, really appreciate it. Other than that, I hope you are all having a good weekend, whenever it is that you are watching this, and I will see you again in my next video. Bye.